On today's video, we're going to look at the brand new DJI Action 5 Pro. We're going to film a bunch of video clips. I'll show you some of the features, and I'll also talk a little bit about why I think this is the best action camera for car people. And we'll use a couple cool cars for this review too. The standard DJI Action 5 Pro comes with some paperwork, a really nice sticker pack with a pretty good variety of stickers. Comes with the plastic cage, you get a long-lasting battery, and of course you get the camera. The camera itself is the same size as the Action 3 and Action 4, which means that a lot of your accessories are interchangeable. The Action 5 features a 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor, which gives this camera some amazing video quality. It has super bright OLED touchscreens on both the front and back, an extended battery life of up to 4 hours, very nice internal audio recording, and it also has some of the smoothest stabilization I've ever seen in a camera. One of my favorite accessories that I use a lot in this video is the Piggytech single suction cup action cam mount. It's a pretty simple mount, it attaches securely, and it packs up really small so you can put this in pretty much any camera bag. They also make a really nice metal cage that gives you a 1/4 inch mount on the side and also gives you a cold shoe mount up top. Plus it looks really cool. I've had the Action 5 Pro for about 2 months now, and the main reason I'd recommend this camera is the image quality. That and the fact that this thing is simple to use and it just works. The standard profile looks pretty fantastic, but it gets even better with D-Log. Recording in log profile gives you a really flat image, but it gives you a lot of coloring and exposure adjustments because you have the flat profile. I'm not the best color corrector, but I've had some really good results with just Final Cut Pro and a standard DJI LUT. One of my favorite little features with the DJI Action 5 is that you can link the DJI Mic 2, which you could do on the Action 4, but on the Action 5 you can link 2 of them. Having 2 mics is really handy if you're doing a ride-along video or any kind of interview. It gives you 2 separate channels. If you're doing a review and you want a better exhaust sound, you can throw one of these in the trunk, or you could throw one by the supercharger, which also sounds really cool, or a turbo if you have a turbo. As far as accessories for the Action 5, the Mic 2 is pretty much a must-have. So Rob, you got any interview questions for me? So why are you such a bitch? I hate myself. Now we have a nice little setup with supercharger noises. Alright, let's hear what the supercharger sounds like. Probably sounds very loud. I did a similar shot with the Osmo Pocket 3, which I'll probably do a video on that camera too, even though the camera's a little bit old, because I use that camera a lot. Let's do that same thing in the Skyline, because that exhaust sounds good, but it's not very loud. Very low on gas too, but I'm very poor. RV power, baby. The car is not very fast compared to the Cobra either, but it's still pretty fun. So we're gonna do one small little pull. Might be able to hear that. It's really good. One small pull for Rob, one giant pull for Rob's Skyline. So I'm gonna see if we can do like a little bit of B-roll just so you can see how good the colors and stuff look on this camera. Normally wouldn't recommend doing this with any kind of action camera, but I feel like this camera has a good enough file that we can get away with it. Plus this car is very colorful, so it should look pretty cool. We're going to shoot 4K 60 frames per second. That'll allow us to slow it down. We're going to zoom in for some of these shots too. It gets rid of some of the wide angle distortion and makes it look a little more compressed. And we'll put some music and stuff, but let's see what it looks like. One thing I'll recommend for shooting pretty much any car is a good circular polarizer filter. I got these from Amazon. I forget the name of the company. I'll link it in the description. This also comes with ND filters, which I do ND occasionally, but I got this mostly for the polarizer. You get the polarizer on, you want to take off the little rubber ring thing, and then these just kind of pop on. You can see that the windshield's got a bit of glare there, and this will cut down on the reflections a bit. Like that. Pretty useful if you're shooting through a windshield or if you just want to maintain a lot of the color quality. I bought the DJI Action 5 Pro before a road trip to Wyoming, and using it as a travel/vlog camera worked out pretty nicely. The video quality was great in pretty much any conditions, and the camera is small enough to take pretty much anywhere. It's durable and waterproof too, which makes it perfect for some off-roading. Ew! What is that? For drift events, I've been using the Action 5 as a helmet camera. Mounting it to a helmet creates a nice POV view of the action. The built-in mics catch the sounds of the cars pretty nicely, and vocals also cut through quite a bit. It's also great for walking around track and filming a little bit of B-roll, but I lost most of that footage because I lost that camera. Lighting conditions right now are terrible because it's daylight savings time, and daylight savings time is stupid. So it's going to be a little shadowy, but whatever. This is my only day off. So I like this camera so much that I actually bought a second one. I bought it a little bit before the Wyoming trip, and I lost that second camera when I went down to David Patterson's event at Caffeine and Octane Lanier. No idea if somebody stole it, but if you stole it, you got a good camera, you bastards. So even though this road is extremely rough and this car is extremely stiff, it's pretty stable video. During some pretty rough trails, this camera was still stable while we did the side-by-side rides in Wyoming. This camera does have some internal storage, which is great for when you leave your memory card at home and the laptop, which I feel like anybody with a camera has done at some point in their life. It's not enough to shoot an entire trip, but it's enough to get you by if you need a little bit of memory. Battery life is also really amazing with this camera. When I did a lot of the side-by-side stuff in Wyoming, this camera was running non-stop on the windshield of one of the side-by-sides, and I still had a bunch of battery life when I got back to home base. I was on the same road a few years ago filming a buddy of mine's Evo 10. Filmed about a good 15 minutes of us driving this really nice back road, and there was a lot of fireballs shooting out of the back of his Evo. Got back home to hit the record button and lost the entire file. There was a nice memory card in it. It was just the camera being stupid. So that was one of the last times I used that particular GoPro. I think it was an 8. That's around the time that DJI came out with their first action camera. So I ended up moving to DJI. The original one was really good. The Action 3 was phenomenal, and the 4 was just so much better. But this is another significant step above the Action 4. And I feel like it's definitely worth the upgrade.